So I was watching this video on Netflix, this documentary type thing about Jerry Seinfeld called Jerry Seinfeld Comedian. And in the movie, there was this other comedian, and I'm sure Jerry Seinfeld did do it too. But in the movie, you saw the comedian. He actually showed like piles and just folders of documents he had on the jokes that he was doing. So he would do a joke, and then he would write about how to make it better. And he had all these notes. He had like piles upon piles of stuff. I mean, tons of stuff in terms of jokes, right? And a lot of people, they tend to wonder, they see a guy who's successful, like Jerry Seinfeld or whoever, Jay Leno, anyone, and they only see the end result. They never see how the person gets there, how they got there. They don't see the process. They don't see the piles upon piles of notes on information of what they did. I remember when I was practicing, like performing, right? So I'm trying to get good in terms of just performing and doing my mentalism shows, trying to get on stages. Well, I would be on a stage for 60 minutes or so, but what people didn't see was all the practice that went into it. So I would actually walk around like there's Fremont Street all the way over there, back there, right? And I mean, I wouldn't walk around on Fremont because I wasn't here at the time. But when I was in Colorado, I would like walk around in the streets, and I would start performing for people in the streets. Or before that, I would be inside of inside of the house, and I would practice like over and over and over in terms of like tricks, and I would practice routines and practice my scripts over and over and over. I would just lock myself in a room, and I'd be in there for hours. And so people, they don't see that. What they see is the end result, and that's with everything. With like a video like this, you see the end result. You see this video. What you don't see is that, oh, I'm sitting here every day. I'm like on my phone, and I'm taking notes in terms of, well, how can I create this video, and what are some cool ideas? What are some great ways to film the video? Should I move the camera? Should I do this? And then all of a sudden, there's all the stuff in the back here. So you see all that inside of my place, and so what you don't see is all the things that go into success. You only see the end result. And what you have to focus on is you have to focus on all the things that go into success. You have to focus on locking yourself in the room and doing that over and over and over until you get it. And you have to focus on, well, once I do get it, how do I make it better? Just like in the Jerry Seinfeld Netflix documentary, where you can see these guys, they're just working on their scripts. And I remember I was like, man, I did the same thing even after a presentation, right? So after a presentation, it was the funniest thing I saw in the video. They did the exact same thing that I would do, to where after a presentation, I would go up and I'm doing my thing. I'm like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And everyone's like, yeah, amazing, go Benji. Well, afterwards, I would go back and I'd be like, dang, I messed up. Oh man, I could have done it better. What in that? And so I would do that like almost every single show, even though people would come up to me and they're like, dude, that was like the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Even though I got standing ovations at every show, still I would go back into the room. I'm like, what the heck? And I would think of how to get better. And they did the same thing. Jerry Seinfeld and all of them did the exact same thing. I thought like, wow, see, that's just what successful people do. No matter where you are, no matter how good you are, you keep thinking, how do I get better? And people don't see that. They don't see the behind the scenes. You have to focus on what you're doing behind the scenes. It's not the 1 5-minute video or the one thing that people see. It's what they don't see that actually matters.